Hello, my sunflowers. How are you? We are back. Of course, this has been a long day of recording. Baby is on spring break, so we get the whole day. But with no further ado, we're going to be reading on Atlanta. We're just going to give you, Baby Crone's going to give you some highlights. To be honest with you, I'm going to be 100, look dead in this camera. I don't know why I'm doing it. I don't know why I'm doing, like, I don't even know why I'm recording. I think sometimes the frustration or sometimes the mood that these characters put you in.
Yeah.
And sometimes, especially when you're seeing the same old people doing the same old thing they just need to get new people in.
They do.
And it just, for me, I struggle to watch.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel like to Married to Medicine, definitely. And I think it's lingering on me. Like, I don't know.
And they come on back to back, so.
Okay. So,
and we're only 2 episodes into Atlanta, and I'm still feeling the same way I felt in the first episode.
Really? How's that?
Kind of like same old played out story.
Porsha's still whining. It's just too much. I don't know. I hope when Phaedra come in that she can give her a new boost or something, because you really don't hear much from Kenya.
No, who we know is going to be
gone anyway. But I like her there. She's good. She's good there. And maybe this time they sending her home maybe will help her to come back to be a better person. They need to do the same thing to Evelyn. No. Elaine, Dr. Elaine.
Yes, Dr.
On
Elaine.
Married to Medicine. They need to do the same thing to Dr. Elaine. Send her home. But here we're talking about Atlanta. That she got sent home, and I think it's a humbling experience. And I think what hurts us can make us grow stronger.
That's true.
If you endure it. And I think that she's doing it, because I heard Candy said that she's doing good. She's got things dealing with her salon, and that she's really doing it. Like, she's doing the best she can. I know that I truly don't know this, but I believe, let me grab a card on this one.
Okay.
I believe this. And this is what's going to tell me if I'm true. I should have picked the oracle. What I believe is,
pass you the oracle.
I've already started shuffling these, but you could pick from the oracle because of the question that I'm going to ask about Kenya.
Okay.
They already been shuffled. So my question is, what I want to know is with Kenya, and that is she struggling financially over the show? Like, is she okay?
Right.
If she never did this show again, would she be okay? Because in my mind, she's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they all will miss the money, but you got enough going on for you that you're okay.
Right.
That you're better than okay.
Mm-hmm.
I got a devil card.
Oh, okay.
Pick now.
Mm-hmm. A house card. Interesting. Symbolizes a shelter and what is her structure and foundation.
Here, I got the devil card, and that is the number 15. But I already know behind that number 7, but behind that 15 is a 6. And I know that 6 have to deal with lovers. I think deception. I think being deceived or deception. Something like that is indicated, because whenever the devil card shows up, it's got to do with somebody lying, cheating, scandal. It's got to deal with some sort of deception, or something, or someone accepting a truth about themselves that's painful to look at.
That could also be it.
Or struggling because of the abruptness of it, wasn't prepared. But nowhere will the devil ever be a good card.
That's true.
Never. Because it doesn't have to deal with the end or the beginning. It has to deal with the soul. And it has to deal with, is someone being deceived? Is the devil deceiving you? Is the devil lying to you? Do you need to go on a quest of the soul? What do they call it?
Dark night of the
Dark night of the soul. And I think with Kenya, I think that's where she's at. This is what comes, a dark night of the soul. This is something she learned. And I don't know, she was sent home once before, but Bravo have a way of bringing them all back. I think that they could bring her back. And let me tell you why. Because the girl that she said this to, she doesn't seem to be very friendly. And she's not memorable.
No.
And she's not memorable at all at these two shows. What do you think?
Nope, not at all. I still can't actually recall an episode about her, any details about her. Okay, the only thing I really have written about Britt in this episode was the fact that she wants her mom to move into the new house when her and her husband sell the house. And she's like, you don't want my mom sleeping right next door to us. We should make a place for her down in the basement. And then they talking about kids. And he's like, allegedly, we're going to have kids. And she's like, no, speaking negativity. We're going to have kids. So I don't know.
No, we speaking negativities. We're going to have kids.
Yeah, because she's saying we're going to be having kids this year. And he's like, allegedly, supposedly, we might have kids this year.
Okay.
And she's like, there you go, speaking negativity.
Does she have any children?
Not of their own. No, he already has a child.
And she wants a child by him.
Yes.
And he's in doubt about it.
He's in doubt about it.
Why would a woman want to have a baby by a man that's telling you they ain't ready? See what I mean? Why? You didn't know that before you married him? I don't get this. This is why you need prenups. For stuff like this. You said that after 3 years that we would get married. And if you don't honor that in 3 years, then either you're going to have to pay me.
Fair enough. You're
going to have to pay me. If he's rich, you're going to have to give me $3 million for going against your word. $1 million for each year, 3 years. I waited 3 years. It's 3 years and you still you owe me $3 million.
Fair enough. My time is worthy.
My time is worthy. I was waiting for you. $1 million, you say no, right?
Yes.
I mean, you could put anything in a prenup. I think that's fine. You wasted my baby years for me to get here and you still telling me no? $3 million, and what is that for the 3 years that I waited for you to make up your mind?
Yes.
And the 3 years that I waited for you to get where you need to be. And now you don't want it. And if I was her, I'll take my $3 million and whatever it was, and I'll go head on and go to a place. Because I think that one of the women we have children by men that don't want them. You can't just say, I want to have a baby by you. And it doesn't work that way. Are they good daddy material?
Exactly.
Are they good? Iman, what's his name? Not Iman. The guy who have daddy issue.
Umar.
Omar said, I would have wiped you. I would have wiped both of you. Okay. So I'm saying, are they husbandable? Are they worthy of you carrying their baby?
Yes.
And I gotta say it, and then I get back off of Kenya. So many women want to have babies by white men.
That's true.
They don't care the cost. Or they want to have a real light-skinned baby with good hair. I'm just saying, y'all know what good hair is, okay? But that's the sentiment of it. And you see it a lot. And this is with women, even white women. You see it. Even Asian women.
Yes, you do.
You see it.
It's becoming a swirl.
It's like a swirl. Everybody wants to go lighter or darker. Like if I'm light, I go dark. You go light. It's like we're really turning into a melting pot.
Yes.
Where you're just going to have a lot of little cocoa babies with funny colored eyes and silky hair and run around looking albino-ish.
Yep, those two. All shades.
Albino-ish. Not like making fun of Bayan. That's why I said ish. Not like I don't want to, not saying that. But I think I've seen binos that are very attractive. So I don't know. I think they're very attractive. I had a friend that was albino, so I don't feel negative. So it's not a negative. It was said as what you see in color-wise.
Right. features.
And the only way I could picture that is with an albino, right?
Yeah.
And their eyes, and So anyway, so what I see, you have home over there.
Yes, I do, which definitely is a place of security, a place that feels comfortable, some place that you reside. However, if there's some
and that's a place you're willing to fight for, your safe space.
Okay.
And I think here is that I think that Kenya made a mistake. What do you mean? She let her feelings, her antics, she's always doing antics, but this is a new day, this is a new dawn, and everything is changing soon. So what I think is this is new, and I think that she will be back. I mean, I miss her around. I do, especially with the merging of the new girls. And I also think that I really feel as though this was a lesson learned for Kenya. That things are changing, and the things that they used to, they don't do anymore. If only that could resonate with Married to Medicine, and they could get rid of Miss Elaine.
Yeah.
Right?
Miss Elaine.
Get rid of Miss or Dr. Elaine. Who, I don't like her word, Head. Dr. Head.
Yeah.
We call her Elaine. That's why somebody named her Head, because they knew she was a hellraiser. She's so rude.
She is.
She's coming up in my mind. That's what I'm saying. She come up in my mind, and I'm reading on Atlanta. Because she was out there apologize. I apologize for everyone from Married to Medicine. It's just
creating some type of beef with Atlanta when you're all from the same area code. Basically.
But people were saying negative things that was coming from Married to Medicine. I don't think anything is wrong with that at all. They all can say what they want to say, because that's just supporting the show. And if you're supporting the show, you can't help it to get emotional.
That's true. Just like we do.
Right.
Now, this episode of Atlanta was mostly about Drew, Porsha, and Dennis.
You go ahead. I'm going to step away from you.
Okay. Well, first off, it started off with Drew talking about... yes, I do. Please get me a bag of regular potato chips. So it started off with continuing off of last week's episode, or the first episode of the season, where finally Porsha addresses Drew and asking her about the connection she has with Dennis and why they are working on music. And you remember Drew's just like, oh, he's my angel on earth. Oh, he saved me. All these glorious things about somebody else's baby daddy, right? So here we have the fact that Drew was talking about how Dennis had reached out to her and said that her and that Dennis...
Excuse me, I'm sorry I'm being rude, but this room makes me hungry. I get hungry in here. I'm sorry, I'm going to munch on some potato chips. Some dill. What one?
Please take some classic potato chips. So
thank you. Enjoy. Go ahead.
Yes, but Drew was talking about how the fact that Dennis had reached out to her and said that he reached out to Porsha and got a blessing from Porsha. And Porsha was like, well, I heard a different story from Dennis saying that you had reached out to me, that he reached out to you and that you was going to reach out to me, and I haven't heard anything. And there goes Drew. She's like, well, I did mention that we was having a collaboration together and you didn't say anything against it or anything like that. So I thought...
Wait a minute, what happened? Is Drew lying again?
Yes, Drew's caught lying. Even Cynthia said it. She was like, Drew has been known to lie 3, 4, 5 times, maybe.
Go ahead.
Yep, and even Porsha said it. She's like, well, one of you guys is lying to each other. Anyway, Porsha definitely feels blindsided by Drew because she has Drew as a hair ambassador for her hairline, and she has done so much for Drew, and this is how Drew repays her.
What's shocking to me is Drew was trying, allegedly, that's not clear, I don't know, was trying to get her ex, what's his name?
Ralph?
Wow.
Dennis,
No,
sorry.
Dennis to film with her on the show.
Yes.
This is what this is. If
Mhm.
that's wrong.
That is wrong.
Yeah, that's wrong. Then you'll look like a Fallon. And maybe that's what you want.
And I completely understand where Portia's coming from. At first, it took me about 3 washes to finally get Portia's sentiment because I thought she really was being petty. But it was this specific line of self-acknowledgement that when she said that she knows that when Dennis does something to piss her off, that she can become petty P, and it's not good for either of them, and they're on such good terms with co-parenting that she doesn't want anything to provoke it. And I'm like that. I'm glad she's able to understand that she can be petty, and that also she isn't trying to do anything to ruin their co-parenting. So she truly does value the connection that they've created together. And I feel like for that, Dennis should be.
So let me ask you this. So are you saying that Dennis said that didn't happen? They didn't have that conversation?
They did have that conversation.
They did or didn't?
They did.
Okay. And Dennis and what's her name?
Drew.
Did have the conversation. Okay.
However, Dennis is saying that it's not at all what it sounds like. We are just business partners. And Porsha is saying, well, it sounds like you guys are having compilation together. So she's and then so that
what that matter to her?
Because here's the thing, she's like, I don't care if you guys are having sex, but do not bring him on, but do not come on the show in my filming territory and be on
my job.
Yep, on my job, and come film with Drew, because then that's just going to make me petty. And there she goes, and then goes
because it's going to show what she did to Fallon.
And here goes another female. She's like, how you work this out with Drew depends on how you see your daughter. So either
say that again. That was deep. You got it. Go ahead, break it down.
She says, depending on how this plays out with you and Drew.
Who said that?
Porsha. Depending on how this plays out with you and Drew, if you and Drew are in a secret relationship and trying to come on the show and
flaunt it or whatever,
then I'm going to take your privileges away from you seeing your daughter, and we're not going to have good co-parenting.
I thought she can't do that.
That's petty P for you.
She can't do it. They always want the children to pay. You wanted to have a baby by these people. Yes. You got a baby, now you want them to pay. When is it going to be enough? This is the women hour. We are just so angry.
We really are.
There's so many black angry women. I'm sorry, I'm just talking about black women.
It's true.
So we know we got angry Crones.
They
raging. We're angry black women, but they're raging white women. There's a difference.
There is.
The white women, those Crones, they raging.
They are.
Black women, we fussing.
We are.
We fussing. White women, rage. Would you agree?
Yes, I would agree.
Black women, fuss. Will fuss the hell out you. They'll fuss you up to heaven and back down to earth. They will fuss. Okay? They'll fuss so hard they make you start shaking. They will fuss. They will fuss the life out you and then bring it back in you. So, but I'll be glad when we don't have to worry about using the kids for a part of the lesson.
Yes.
I would say then, if this is it, I will never show you my face again. I will never be in your presence. In other words, when you get Pilar, she'll be there with somebody else. I wouldn't talk to you. I don't do this to our friendship. But I would never, and I mean that, I would never allow my child to suffer because I grew up a bastard. And I know what it's like to not have a father. I know what that's like. And I don't know what it's like to have a dad. I don't know. So, and even though as old as I am, I still yearn for the love of my dad. But I don't look for that in men. I don't look for that in men. But I do look for it like, I don't know, maybe more of a motherly figure in a man, the one that nurtured, take care of you, because that's what I had was my mom. So that's what I would look for, I say.
Mm-hmm.
Did that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. Now, I think I ran down pretty much the whole situation between Drew, Dennis, and Porsha.
Drew will do anything to get on top.
Right, yes, that I did not cover. She definitely will. Doesn't even care if she steps on her friend's back.
She don't care if you have to crawl over her mother and crawl over under her dad. She gonna get what she want.
Yeah. Dennis seems like he's this is what was trippy. This is why Dennis says that he is close to Drew at this moment.
Okay.
Because Drew was going through a divorce and she was
He identified.
And he identified with that. And he wanted to be there for her. And through that, they formed this friendship.
That was her way of getting in on Dennis. To get him to help her with music.
That's true. That's true. Took advantage of his feelings.
Took advantage of his poor little feelings. Oh, Boogie. I'm so sorry. You know how to me, Drew always seems like she acting. Her personality, she act like she acting. And honestly, I don't really think she's that great of an actor. I did think she played good in TLC.
Yeah.
But overall, I watch her movies. I'm sorry. No. She played in those Lifetime movies. She good for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's good for that. Or if she was going to be a singer in a singing group and it's a musical, she'd be good for that. She would have been good for The Color Purple.
Oh, okay.
Because she can sing. No.
That's true. Everybody's trying to sing on Atlanta, apparently. It's like the musical capital, apparently. Okay, however, now we have officially finished and wrapped up with everything about Drew, Porsha, and Dennis. Now, speaking of Porsha, I guess I'm not finished with Porsha. It's the Porsha show, let's be honest here. Porsha goes...
Rude. I'm so sorry.
Porsha and Kenya go on a lunch date, much like we're having a snack date right now.
I'm so hungry. I'm sorry.
And Porsha is talking about her divorce with Simon, how she apparently is the fifth wife of Simon Gabadia, although one of the marriages was an illegal marriage, so technically, really, you are a fourth wife legally. And then, that was pretty much all she was talking about. I'm not really sure what Kenya had to say about it, but Kenya just seemed like she was eating up the tea, all surprised, like, really?
I think she was just listening.
Yeah, she was just listening as a good friend, you know how Kenya is. A good listener.
I like Kenya.
Oh, yes. And the one thing that Porsha said is that she thought Dennis was an honest man. And that's exactly what she realized he wasn't at the end. A honest man. He was a deceitful man that had all these frauds.
Well, you see all that in him. That's how you see. That's who in you. Because you can only see what's in you. I can only see me and you because anything else is foreign.
That's true.
So if he all those things, then Porsha, you need to just say, oh, that's in me then. Because it's so clear you can see what he's like.
That's true.
But for whatever reason, you don't see that in yourself?
Nope, she doesn't.
And I'm telling you, if that's how you see Dennis, that's you. Even the very fact that you did this to this other woman, regardless of what was going on in her marriage. Regardless.
Yes.
You came, you saw, you conquered. And now the fact that Drew might do that or whatever, it makes you sick to your stomach.
It does.
But it didn't make you sick when you was doing it. That's what I'm saying. You know what, Porsha, to me, she's a big controversy for me.
She is.
And I don't, go ahead. That's all I got.
Well, speaking of Porsha, just wrapping it up lastly with her. Apparently, Drew, Angela, and Shamia had a gym session together.
Shamia?
Yeah, Shamia.
Right.
Because this is when...
Shamia said she wasn't going back there no more.
I don't blame her. It all started because Angela really took Shamia to the hot seat. And they... Honestly, I think Shamia...
Who was Angela?
I think that is Drew's friend.
Does she
Yeah.
belong to the housewife?
Yes, she does. She's married to Charles Oakley, who's apparently a basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
The one who I think don't really shine right now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Her and another person. Those are like, to me, they're like the two new girls, Britt and Angela.
Britt is the girl that what you call it showed the pictures about.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And Angela is another one that goes under the radar. We don't know much about her. Actually, we just got introduced to her story this episode where she talked about how she had 4 kids and all that. Cool, great. We got to get an introduction to these people's lives. But Angela put Shamia to the hot seat because she was like, A, you're not going to talk over me, and B,
who said this?
Angela. When she was talking to Shamia, asking Shamia if she was asking Drew.
I'll be right back.
Okay, if she was asking Drew about her relationship with Dennis for Porsha's sake, since Shamia is friends with Porsha. And Shamia said, no, I was not asking for Porsha. I have my own mind, and I was genuinely curious, so I genuinely asked. So then Drew and Angela both took the stance and perspective that Shamia is just being a lapdog or just doing whatever Porsha says. And that's exactly what Shamia is trying to break this season, that I'm not behind Porsha's shadows. Porsha does not control me. In fact, I do have my own mind, and therefore I act accordingly and individually.
Is that what Shamia was saying?
Yes, that's her sentiment, because they felt like Shamia was asking for Porsha. Why is Drew hanging out with Dennis and making a collaboration with Dennis? And Shamia...
Wait a minute. Shamia is asking Porsha.
No, Drew. Asking Drew about her music collaboration with Dennis and if there's anything deeper.
Porsha is asking Drew these questions.
No, Shamia is asking Drew these questions.
I walked out. I'm just trying to figure out where we are. Are we in the gym?
Yes, in the gym.
Okay, and this is the conversation in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this is Shamira.
Yeah.
But it seemed like to me that somebody got on Shamira. Like,
yes, that was Angela. So
who's Angela? Tell me about her.
Besides the fact that she's married to Charles Oakley.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And who else was there? It was 3 of them.
And Drew.
Okay, got you. Okay.
Yes.
2 old and 1 new.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the basketball that was person. What's her name?
Angela
that was talking rude to Shamia.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What was she saying? I don't remember. It was Sunday. I looked at it twice, but
basically you're not going to talk over me if I'm talking. I'm 6 feet tall, so you can't just bully me. Just feeling really aggressive, like you're not going to try to shut me down just because I'm.
Are you ad-libbing this, or was she really angry?
No, she really was angry. She literally
to Shamira.
Yeah, to Shamia.
What made her angry?
Because Shamia was trying to dismiss her while Angela was asking her questions and talking.
Dismiss her about what?
About asking.
I don't know where I was.
Asking if she is Porsha's
lapdog.
Yes. And Shamia was basically not entertaining it and saying, I'm talking to Drew. This is a conversation between me and Drew. And then Angela's like, you're not going to keep me out the conversation. I'm talking to you.
Who orchestrated this? Drew. So Drew already knew that woman had a problem with Shamira.
Mm-hmm.
See what I mean?
Yes.
See what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yes. That's exactly what that
was. Did Shamia bite back, or did Shamia take it?
No, Shamia bought back. Mm-hmm. They didn't get in too much of a fight, but she did stand her ground enough to get her point across.
I said what I said.
Yes.
You don't scare me.
Uh-huh.
That's what Shamia. Okay, because I'm on a Shamia train.
Yes, exactly. That's how she took it. Mm-hmm. And because of that, Angela, somewhat backed off, still felt a certain type of way. So
Drew do that. Drew get people to try to fight battles for her.
Yes, that's exactly
Drew does
what
that.
Was doing that.
That's Drew. That's Drew. That's what I'm saying. I tell you, she'll do anything to get ahead.
Yes.
Anything. I don't know. She must come off as a very. Let me run a call.
And honestly, if you guys are just business partners, why do you need your friend here to interrogate Porsha's friend to figure out why they are curious about you and Dennis if you're just business partners. Seems a bit fishy if you ask me.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But I'm gonna quick and pick right here. Right here. Is Drew shisty? Is she a swindler?
I like that.
It's the world card.
Wheel of Fortune.
The Wheel of Fortune. She can be.
Okay.
That Wheel of Fortune. In other words, she'll spin that wheel, and if she feels like she can wheel herself in there some kind of way, she gonna wheel herself in there in your life. Because she gonna hit jackpot. Okay. But here, it shows it's lucrative for her, but if she doesn't stop, it's gonna start being a hindrance. Exactly. Because the card is upside down. And sometimes when it's a good card, it's a good card. Mm-hmm. But sometimes when the word get out, you can stifle your own blessing.
Yeah, for real. Crawling to the top any kind of way isn't all.
It eventually come out and it'll rat you out. Mm-hmm. So that's what I see when I see Drew. And she always try to have somebody there to catch her when she falls.
Yes.
You know?
Like she can't stand strong on her own.
Well, she can't really.
No.
She can't.
But that was pretty much this episode, really.
That was it?
Mm-hmm. That's really what it was all about.
Oh, okay. But let me say this again. I do love what Shamia brings to the show. Mm-hmm. I truly believe that this is Porsha. Porsha envies Shamia. Porsha want to sing, Porsha want to dance, Porsha want a house, and all that house is that she want a house, at least someone to the equivalent of Shamia. Mm-hmm. Even though Shamia's house is $9 million plus tax, I don't know what Simon house is, but it's where what you call it want. She always wanted the house.
Yeah, for real.
That's what I see.
She wants that lifestyle.
She wants that lifestyle, or she wanted to look like she had that lifestyle.
Exactly.
You know. Mm-hmm. So, and the way that you put the icing on the cake, she probably have a nice car. She travels, and whenever you travel, you don't really need a lot of money to travel. You don't.
It's true. If you travel outside the United States, you
leave outside the United States and go to these places where they go curtain cankles and all that. You know, you have to pay a lot of money to get up there with the creme de la creme. But she probably ain't even doing all that. She probably playing in a nice place, you know. You don't need all that, you know, but because they live a jet set life where they can go when they want, come, this and that, it looks expensive because most of us are working or we just don't have the funds.
Exactly.
So they live in a jet set life, but when she come home, she want her home to represent what she look like. And the house that will do that is Simon. But I'm telling you, even if she get this house, it will serve her no good. She won't be happy in it. So anyway,
that was it for Atlanta, Real Housewives of Atlanta. It was really just about the whole getting down to the bottom of what's going on between Drew, Dennis, and Porsha.
Do you think it's an affair going on?
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. I want to say no, but given the way Drew just seems to be a bit shifty about the whole situation, like she's almost
overly talking.
Right, like she's almost caught in the trap and trying to make it seem like it's way less than what it's not, but then she makes phrases like, oh, he's my angel on earth. Oh, he saved me.
You think he tapped that all over the floor? Tapped that.
Exactly.
Now, I started seeing it in my mind, like.
Exactly.
Now you make me think, yeah, she act like he's the best thing since God made water.
Exactly.
And she makes me question. I didn't until you gave that description. And my mind started going, snap that all over the floor.
For somebody that's just a music producer, that's how you feel he saved your life.
He's your angel on earth. Your God sent.
Yes.
He must have laid it wide. She must have spread it wide and he laid it low. I don't know. But oh my God, I wasn't thinking like that. But because she comes off on the offense, it makes you wonder.
Yes.
it's too much.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, is there anything else?
Nope, that's it for this episode. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed the
If
content.
you enjoyed it, I was in and out, but I don't know. I could have sworn I saw this thing at least 3 times.
It did play at least 3 times, yes.
So it could be I just didn't find it that interesting.
No, I didn't find it either, but it was the key words that like really drew me in on some situations where I'm just like, oh.
1 and 2 did not draw me in.
No.
And I think it's because I don't know the characters.
That too.
And until I get to know the characters, then I think, so in about another 2 more episodes, I should pretty much know who the characters are.
Yes.
And their role and everything.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is.
I felt like we were really just thrown into drama and we didn't really get a chance to get
these new women coming in with drama. They coming in like barracudas. Yeah. Barracudas.
Yeah, pipe down.
So anyway, if you enjoyed this, please give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to our station, please subscribe. We really appreciate your support. It really means a lot to us. And if you have a comment, leave it down below. You could add, take away, or something you don't agree with, or something I missed. Please leave it below. All opinions and your points of view are accepted. Yeah. I may not agree with them, but I read them all and I respond to them all. Mm-hmm. So all that comes to me. Yes. And baby Crone, I can't speak for her.
I do read over them. Maybe not respond, but I do read over them.
Well, so anyway, with that being said, so if you supporting sisters like us, that's my soul sister over there. So we mother and daughter, but she's old now. She's my daughter has turned into my sister.
Oh, thank you.
So we're more like sisters than closer than best friends.
That's true.
You can't get no closer than a sister.
That is honestly true.
Okay, so with that being said, we thank you for joining us. Please, if you enjoyed this, please give us a thumbs up. Or if you haven't subscribed and you like this kind of content, please subscribe. It's all good. You have a family with the Crones. Sunflowers!